What's up, you guys? It's your big bro, Oni-chan. Today I'm going to be showing you the symptoms of when you have a broken clutch cable. Not clutch cable, a shifter cable. That's the cable for this right here. As you can see, it's kind of janky. That should be going into fourth gear, and it's not, because the cable itself, the piece at the very front of the car, is snapped. It's supposed to be a stiff piece, but it's snapped, it's broken, it's worn out, and so it makes it limp. So whenever I try to go into gear, it doesn't actually go into gear. Same thing for second and reverse. You can hear that. It wants to, but it won't. But that being said, it can actually go into gear. I just have to meet the right RPMs. Hear that thunk? That's it going into gear. Now, I've already taken off all the covering, the consoling and everything to get to it quicker and easier, to make this a little bit more streamlined, but I will show you exactly what you need to take off to remove that center console. On mine, it does have an armrest, so there's 3 more bolts and 4 screws you got to remove, compared to other cars that don't have the center console but has just that cup holder. And I will kind of explain that to you once we get further out. So bear with me. We are getting on the highway right now. I'm in 3rd gear. 4th gear. See, I was able to get into 4th gear because I'm at the RPMs, and it just kind of let it glide into gear. 1st, 3rd, and 5th gears are not affected by this because it's a pull action and not a push action, compared to the 4th, 2nd, and reverse gears. That's the pushing, where the cable goes limp instead of being stiff. And I will show you that in a more in-depth. What is up, you guys? It's your big brother, Oni-chan. Today we're going to be working on the 2018 Mitsubishi Mirage ES. For those who don't know, the ES is a standard. It's not an automatic transmission, so it does have a different shift cable linkage setup than what a automatic would. I'm going to try to do this as fast as we can because it's raining. This is what we're replacing. This right here. This is the little assembly. It does not come in separate pieces. You have to buy both cables, which, I mean, might as well just buy them both, so then you can get it done all in one. But it is a little bit pricey. The part number is 2460A112. Does come pre-checked to make sure it's all properly lubricated and everything before they send it out. So that is a good little deal. The tools that you're going to need is you're going to need a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver. You're going to need, if you have one, a ratchet with a 10mm and a 12mm. Some extensions. I have multiple ones because I want it to flex a little bit. I'm not using my really long one. I'll explain that to you later. You're going to want, right now I'm using a 3/16 wrench, and that's to pry the head off the transmission itself, so you can just pop it off easy because it fits in perfectly. You're also going to want some sort of pry bar or something long enough with a bent head that's flat enough to get underneath the washer, because when you get into that transmission, once you get in there, you're going to realize that this piece right here is wedged up inside, and there's a washer in there that you're going to have to get this up underneath. You're going to pry it up because it's stuck in there really hard. And so that's why you need to have a pry bar. Phillips and a flathead screwdriver is going to be on the inside, which I'm going to show you right now. So let's get to it. And I'm letting you all know now, I have disassembled most of this already beforehand, just to make the doing of this video a little bit more easier and streamlined to help y'all, so you're not sitting there watching a really long video. Get into this. And I have a flashlight with me, so it's gonna make this a lot easier. All right, so we're in the vehicle. Oh, that's upside down. Okay, well, okay, we're in the vehicle. We got this on, this cover over everything. So what you're gonna want to do, you're gonna remove any items you have in cup holders. This on each side of this console are these pins, the little retainers. This one's different because I put this one in not too long ago. Just take that, put that in your door. There's one on this side as well. Looks like. Take that one out. See it right there? Yeah. Take that out. And this is sitting up because I had to pull that out. I'll do that. Then you're going to come, twist off your hood. Ta-da! Now with the flathead, you can take this flathead. Trying here. You can take the flathead and you pop this open. Inside this, there's a bolt. I've already taken it out, but it's sitting in there. There's a bolt in there. That's what you're going to need the 10mm for. So take that, put that in your door so you don't lose it. All right, now that's gone. Now that is gone. Now I'm going to come to this. This is already taken apart, but you have your center console here. Right? Now you're going to have to open this up. Inside you're going to find 4 screws. That's what the Phillips head's for. Take those out. Ta-da! Now, on some of your cars, mine, it has the console in it. Now, some does not. It's going to have the center console. Whether or not you have this bracket in here that they've gone and drilled holes into, that's dependent on what your vehicle is, what kind it is. Now, oh, lost one. Get back here. Now, you're going to have, on mine, and if it's like yours, you're going to have these 4 nuts on these. Once again, 10mm. Take them all out. Maybe if I can get them all. Shit. Yeah. All right. They're itty bitty little things, so don't lose them. Put them in your door. Now that you've gotten that taken off, you can now lift this up and take that bracket out and put that aside. And in this bracket there's a hole so you can get to that back one, just so you know. Ta-da, see that? Yeah, see, you can get to the back one. That's why you have that extension again. All right, now when you're taking the console out, now that you've gotten your holding screws out, you're going to realize you got to pull that all the way up. All right, now that's come up loose. Now with this though, this is your plug-in, your USB plug. It's going to be wired in there, so you actually have to be a little gentle when you're taking this out, because it's going to be stuck in there. Just like that. Now that wire, this wire right here, is going to be plugged into this box. So don't yank and don't pull on it. I've got it wired up underneath the vent thing though. But on this, there are some pins on it. All you do is take your flathead and you stick it up underneath this and you pry it out on both sides, and it's going to lift up. When it does that, this piece is all on its own. That will fall out, which will let you take it out of that. Now, when you're doing that, you are going to want to push in the pins and push it up out of the center console piece itself to where it's not sitting in there, because it will sit in there and it's going to be hard to do with it sitting in there. So I pushed it out, got the pins out, pulled it all the way out. Take that, put it in your door. You take the center console, go in the back seat. All right, you now are able to get to everything that you need to right here. So, with this, if yours has it, which I'm sure most of them do, you're gonna have this center vent. It's all just parts that push together. That pops out. It pops out only on this one side. It does not pop out on this side, so don't try to pull it and break it, and you'll end up breaking it. I've got this wire pulled out. All right. Now, on this, since you're replacing both of them, you got to remember, this cotter pin, don't lose it. Like I just did. I'll find it. But, okay. That's all you really have to do for that one, is just that little cotter pin. Done. That one is now out. It is free. On this, you just lift up. It pulls right out. That is not free. On this one, it's going to be a different story, because there's a pin kind of bracket thing that goes around it. Can't see those little pieces of metal sticking down. That little piece of metal right there. It's kind of like a retainer, so you're going to want to be careful. You don't want to lose that. Like I lost that cotter pin. See how it kind of holds that in there? Yeah. All right. This is the fun part. All right, we've gotten that pin off. If you didn't see how I did it, I'll show you in a second. All right, same thing like with this one. You just take it, pry it up, push it, it'll come out. All right, now on this thing, when you're trying to take it off, all you really got to do is that. If you can just pry it out like that, just kind of push it. That ball right there that you see moving, that just falls right out. It'll fall right out of that little groove. That's all you got to do. All right. Now we did all that. You'll pull all this aside. You know, pull this carpeting aside. There's a retainer clip on it, but if you want, you can just yank it out. It's not going to bother anything. It's not going to move when you get the center console back in there. Now that we did that, something I got to show you. Inside, you're going to have a bolt back here. You got this bolt right here. You gotta take those out. I remember that. You gotta take those out to remove them. So let me go get my tool. Trying to remember if they're 12 or 10. Yeah, 12. Couldn't remember. I never took these out, so I'm sorry on that. Fairly easy to remove. Made it easier when you don't have everything in your way. Try not to lose those. I'm just gonna put them on the floorboard right there. Now this is going to be the tricky one because it's got wiring and everything around it. So this one, I'm going to have to use a small socket. Okay. On this one, because we got this electrical box on top of that, we're actually going to have to use a wrench. So fun. Alright. Use this tiny little wrench. Step in there. And I got it. Like that. Oh, got a visitor. That should let me loosen it up just enough so I can get my finger in it. Tight little space. Tight little space. I got all these things stabbing me in my side. That little sucker don't want to come out. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Oh, I thought we were. Little turd don't want to come out. Thing keeps moving on me. Alright, once you're able to get that screw out, which I undid this little clip so I can get around it. Okay, once you get that nut off the back side, lift out. This is what it's going to look like. You now see inside the outside world. Right through there. You got all this freed out. It's all free. Now we go to the outside. Alright, now that we're out here, you got to remove the battery. So disconnect your cable, disconnect cables. You're going to loosen these up. Now you don't have to take all them. You don't have to take the nut all the way off. Just loosen enough to where the hook comes out from underneath this little groove right there. Where it'll come out. Then you twist it. Comes out. Look at that. Easy. Same thing for this one. Comes out. Ta-da. And take this little bracket off. Don't lose your stuff. Don't lose that. Take your battery out. Take the battery pan out. Stand next to it. Now and where's the fun part. Where's my flashlight? Alright. Here's the fun part. Okay, now once you get the battery pan removed, you're going to see this exposed. You're going to take out this nut, take out these and these. I've already loosened mine, so mine are just loose. Now, if you're like me, you come with a handy dandy mechanic pan. It's a magnet to hold all your screws so you don't lose shit. Move that out of your way. Now, there's another nut down below electrical box. I've already broken my pins on this, so it's easier for me to remove. So I can just pop that out. I'm gonna get this screw out of here. Like that. Handy dandy pan. Now you can remove the battery box support bracket. There, now you can see inside. Now, put that back on there. Gonna move battery cable out of the way. Oh, if I don't disconnect stuff, open up stuff. Take this, push that out of the way. Now you can see this. Put that back on there. And these two pieces are exposed. This is what goes to your shifter. Now, to get those off, take that, slide that sucker right up underneath there, just like that, kind of wiggle it in there, pop, there goes my wrench. But that's how you can get that off there really easily. Make sure you have a firm grip, firm grip, firm grip. Same thing for this side. Wiggle it all up in there. Pops right off. Look at that. Easy peasy. Okay, now got that done. Yeah. Now inside here, you're gonna see that washer. Now see, this is where that shifting problem is. This piece right here is what broke. Now, whenever you do a pushing action, this cable comes out and it becomes limp instead of stiff. Like on this one, which you probably can't see it, it's stiff. It's very stiff. See it? It's one whole piece. So it keeps the cable stiff when you do a pushing action. Now, pulling action is different. It just pulls so it tightens and it doesn't push. But whenever you push, this cable pushes out and it becomes loose. So that's what's causing second, fourth, and reverse to not go into gear. So that's why you have to replace this piece. And unfortunately, your cables for the ES does not come in two pieces. It comes in one whole piece, so you got to replace both, which is a good thing also. So that's going to be that. Now, to get that out, my pants out, you take your handy dandy pry bar. Psst, psst. What are you doing? My handy dandy mechanic hat. You're going to take that, you're going to fit it right underneath that washer. You take it, you push up, push up. There's a retainer clip right there. You just push up on that. Don't worry if you bend it, it's going to bend until you get a gap where you can kind of wiggle that sucker in there. You just keep pushing, just keep pushing, just keep pushing until you get it all the way out. And if you need to, you can take this wrench and kind of set it up so you can pry off with it. Oh. Wiggle, wiggle. All right, that is now loose. Now we got to do the other side. Same process. You just kind of pry it out as you go. And ta-da, it is now loose. There. Now your cables are now loose. Now you can actually push those down, get those out of the way. Now the fun begins. Alright, so that's where the entry is for the cables. You see the cables right there. These two cables right there. You can kind of see the back end of that right there. But there's your cables. And it loops through right in there. Now, because we've got it all disconnected, all we have to do is go up inside of the car and kind of wiggle these out through the inside. So let's go. Got the cables and just kind of wiggle. There's one. The other one. Sounds like we're stuck on something. What are we stuck on? Oh. Yeah, make sure that's clear or you'll get stuck on that. Ta-da. Oh, let's try that again. Now, this is a tight little hole, so you do want to do one at a time. Oh, that's what she said. Oh. That was what I forgot to do. You got to take off those retainer clips on it first. I forgot that. Forgot that process. Hold on. Okay. All right. You got to take these off. Forgot about that. Which is a pretty simple process once you have it out, because then you can actually just push those through. I'm larger than something. All right, once you remove the clips, they should be able to fit right up in there. Try not to bend and break those retainer clips, because your kit probably won't come with extras. So ta-da. One. And there's two. All right. It's now been completely removed. As you can see where it's been flexing a lot right there. It's not supposed to do that, but because this piece broke out of that piece, it's supposed to be like that. It broke it and messed it up. So, bummer. Now, for the fun part, we repeat the process just backwards. So now we go, come up in here. Now, this part is the important part. Take your time, don't get frustrated. Just thread pieces in one by one. Like so. Wiggle, wiggle if you gotta wiggle, wiggle. I think I put the thread in the wrong spot. Okay. All right. Make sure you set this off to the side so when you're coming up back underneath, it's not getting caught in anything and making it harder for you. Yeah, I got caught. That's what it was. All right. Take that, thread that, and you're gonna have to thread it up to this, up to that little bracket right there. Now, when you're doing this, you want to make sure you don't get that threaded up over that. So you want to make sure you thread that over it like this. Because if you don't, you'll end up tearing that wire out. Just like that. Thread it all the way up there. Now, before we get any further, you want to put your retainer clips back on these pieces. Now, before you get too far ahead of yourself, make sure you reinstall the retainer clips onto these two pieces while you can, because when you do it up there, it's going to be a lot harder and have a lot less room. So, put these clips back on, shall we? All right. Once you get them, the retainer clips, you can then proceed to thread them up. Like so. Just like that. Now, for some of y'all who don't know, there's a reason why there's a coloring on this. Now, pink, for the part that they've marked pink, and blue, which, I mean, for some reason they left this one blank, goes on this side. Now, easiest way to find out if that's right or not, before you start connecting anything, come back in here, start putting that thing together. Slide that piece back on there, just like that. Take one of your nuts you put on the floorboard. Throw it on there. Okay. Now, we just kind of do the process backwards. Push this under there, pull it forward. See which is right there. Well, first off, let's push our retainer clip out of the way, just like I did last time. Just gonna push it aside. Now, you just have to figure it on there. So, give me a second. I'm trying to do it so you can see it, but doesn't look like it's gonna let me, so I'm gonna just do it, and you guys are just gonna believe me. Meh, meh, meh. Okay. Now, you got it back in there, just like that. You kind of push that to the side, and self-locks it back in. You're golden. Take that. Make sure you the right side up. Push that in. Same thing for this one. Push it in. This one's a lot easier because it just slaps right on there. Just like that. We come over here after I've retrieved my cotter pin. Take a cotter pin. Slide her right back through that little tiny hole. Don't lose her. Just like that. We are functioning. Everything is clipped and good. I think I got that upside down. Hold on. Yeah, my cable twisted. Okay, there it goes. Had to untwist that cable. Okay. There. Now, pretty good. Now that we've got that stuck in there, notice that the stick is sticking straight up. Easiest way to find out if you got the one that goes forward is you take the one, there's blank, this one that's hiding, pull it forward. The stick is moved forward or backwards, you're good. All right, see? Now when you push into second or fourth or reverse, it's gonna go backwards like that. And if you go into third or fifth, it's going forward, which is a pulling action, which this action is push. So you push that, and it acts as if it's being pulled. Ta-da! Okay, so we know that through the coloring that they did right here, pink stands for side shift. Maybe put this on first. Get all these bubblets out of that real fast. Get that in there. Put that retainer clip back in there. Now this just pushes down on there, just like that. I've kind of beveled that all out a little bit, so gotta untwist that. There it goes. Yeah, much better, much prettier. All right, we've got that in there. Good. Same for this side. Push that in. Clicks it in. Perfecto. That'll straighten itself out, but I do it by myself. All right, now you gotta put these retainer clips back in there. You don't want that wiggling around on you. Make sure you get that back lip over the back side. And front lip over the front side. Like that. So you notice the back lip is on the back side, the front lip is on the front side. And then you just kind of smack them in there. I can remember I did my rubber mallet. Alright, once you get these pieces back in there, like so, you can connect everything. You can start putting everything back together in the engine compartment. Now, if you have trouble getting these things back in there because they're super tight, do this. Get a hammer, a little rubber mallet or something, set it right there on top of it. And then take your pry bar watch out for that fuel line. Don't get up on that fuel line. Kind of put it right there and use that to pry down on it. Same thing for this one. Right there, put the head on top of it. Right over the back end of the piece. Just press down. And it'll push it all the way in there and seat it. So it is seated perfectly. Ta-da! Perfect. Now, you start putting everything back in the way you put it. Get that out of the way. That goes in. Always put this one in first, because when you try to put those bolts in first and then you try to put that in, this one will never meet the hole right for some reason. Like that. Yep. Yeah, watch out, because that thing will get in the way. That little L bracket. Take those. It's hard to do this in one hand. Do it just like that. Alright, then you put your pan back in, your battery pan. You put your battery back in, you put your bracket back on top of the battery, and then you put your hooks back on. You tighten it down, not too tight, just enough to where it's not going to let the battery move around. And if you didn't break that up like I did, come here, that piece just slides right back on there. Just like that. There you go. And then you hook your leads back up. But before you're doing the leads, I always try to get everything done on the inside so I don't have no electrical shocking. Put that nut on the back side of that. And this is when having a ratchet wrench comes in handy. Just trying to use this damn little thing gets really old really fast. But that's all it is. You got everything back together. Ta-da! You're good to go. And you just put everything back together, and that's all you got to do. That is how you replace your shifter cable on the 2018 Mitsubishi Mirage ES. And that is a standard, not an automatic, a standard transmission. Automatics are a little bit more simpler. You only have one cable you got to mess with, so a lot more simpler than the standard. But hey, keep in touch, keep watching. I'm going to put up some more maintenance videos on the 2018 Mitsubishi Mirage ES hatchback. I'm sorry I didn't make a video on replacing the clutch and throwout bearing. I just did that the other day, and that was a hassle. Had to tear the entire front end off. But I will end up doing a motor mount replacement soon. Then I'm going to do some shocks and suspension replacements. Probably going to do an AC. I'm either going to replace the entire AC compressor, or I'm just going to do the clutch. Depends on which one ends up being the culprit. I still have cold air, but I do have that sound, so AC is getting ready to kick the bucket. And with it being Texas and it getting hot, I need that AC. But all right, hey, y'all have a good day. I hope you guys stay safe, stay on the road, keep your head on a swivel, don't drive like an asshole, and if you have to drive with other assholes, try to keep it calm, and try not to act like most of the idiots I've seen in Fort Worth and Dallas area who like to pull out guns on people when they get upset over something that is their fault. So stay safe, guys. Big brother out.